All right, we're heading back outside now for a live look at the Beltline and Gammon Road here in Madison. Blaze is back as our coverage continues of that major winter storm impacting like all parts of Wisconsin. Blaze, this thing is huge, and in a minute we're going to talk about how it's impacting the whole country too, not just Wisconsin.
Exactly. This is a multi-state, multi-day system, and it's brought us our first ice storm warning since back in 2018. Now, we have had ice since then, but we haven't had an ice storm warning issued from the National Weather Service in Milwaukee since February 19th of 2018. So almost 5 years to the date, give or take a few days. Then we had another one back in April 2013. And then another back in February of 2009. So again, we don't see these issued very often. We have to have the right conditions for ice, and it looks like that's setting up really along the state line communities here. Anybody in this dark purple, so that extends from Grant County into Lafayette, Greene, as well as Rock and into Walworth County, you're underneath that ice storm warning until noon tomorrow. Everybody else in the pink, that winter storm warning until noon on Thursday as well. I do want to highlight this though, just because you're not in that ice storm warning doesn't mean that you won't see ice. It just means you have probably a lesser chance of seeing the more impactful ice accumulations. We're beginning to see that snow beginning to creep a little bit northwards, falling now in parts of Iowa County, back into extreme, I would say, western parts of Dane County. That band of heavy snow continuing to set up north of the Dells, and again, that's where we're expecting most of that heavier snow to accumulate. It doesn't look like much right now, but this is a secondary circulation with this big system that's really going to ramp up here as we go into the afternoon and kind of give this system that extra push, bringing us that second wave of snow, ice, as well as freezing rain. It looks like we even had some thunder snow associated with that little band there as it crossed over Iowa into southern Minnesota. In addition to all of that, it's going to be breezy too. We've got temperatures in the 20s and 30s right now. Winds are screaming off of Lake Michigan, and we don't have a lot of ice on Lake Michigan either, so it is picking up some of that moisture, which is going to feed into our snow, our rain and snow, as well as that ice. So take a look. Our ice is going to start to pick up here as we go into the afternoon, so it may not be falling now and accumulating, but that doesn't mean it won't happen. So as we're planning our day today, know the further we go into your Wednesday, the better chance we're going to see of that ice accumulating. And again, it's really going to hug the state line communities. And in addition to that ice, we could see some snow as well. Light blue here, trace 2 to 2 inches of snow, ranging from the dark to really dark blue, about 3 to 6 inches of snow. And then once you get into this yellow, that's where we could see a half a foot of snow, if not more. That's where conditions are better for all snow to fall over the next day or so. And then farther south, our temperatures, especially just above the surface, are a little bit too warm to get that continuous snow to fall. That mix continues to stay across southern Wisconsin here through the late afternoon into your evening commute. And again, if you do have to drive today, please be extremely careful, especially farther south. Notice again that snow continuing to fall from the north, from the Dells northwards. And then this low pressure system starts to exit. And then back behind that, we see cooler temperatures move on in, and those winds continue to be breezy as we go into Thursday, which is why, again, we have all these warnings issued until noon on Thursday. Here's the impacts. Moderate here because of freezing rain, not so bad because of that sleet, and then moderate to major there in the orange to red across northern parts of Wisconsin because of that heavy snow. And if we're looking at impacts of ice, anywhere from 1/4 of an inch or more, it's disruptive to devastating. You add on top of that these winds, Mark, and folks at home, ice is really the last thing that we need. There's some of those gusts there, could be upwards of 40 miles per hour at times. Imagine ice accumulating on tree branches, power lines just shaking with this wind. It's not going to be a good deal. So today and tomorrow we've got this storm, cooler to start off the weekend. A little bit of melting, and then maybe another shot of snow by next Monday.